Episode 5 and 6, Sword Art Online, Mystery Arc.
CSI Sword Art Online, everybody.
So, I don't.
Well, I'm the big murder mystery fan here, so I guess I'll go about explaining the general gist of it.
Yeah.
So like once upon a time, aka after another freaking time skip. At this point in time, like they're well into at least the 50s or 60s by this point in time.
Yeah.
After yet another one of these time skips, they're in Kirito and Asuna meet up again because they're both fighting in the frontline teams who are clearing out the dungeons, clearing out the bosses, getting up to the higher levels. And of course, this is where we begin with their relationship, and that checks off the tsundere part of my list of harem characters.
They start working together like a couple. Wait a second, but they're not. Okay.
Anyway, so yes, Asuna, who starts off as genuinely like I know nothing about her, whereas Kirito started off as I know nothing about him, and as it turns out, there's nothing to know about him. With Asuna,
Oh, that's funny.
With
Oh,
Asuna,
that's good.
it becomes, she's just a tsundere character. I think
she's attractive, though.
Again, I'll complain about the overuse of tsunderes, but I'll admit I like them just like everyone else.
That's why the industry puts them out as much as possible, you know.
But anyway, so we get these two like starting to build up their relationship because they sleep together or they sleep next to each other again, and it's like, you protected me while I was sleeping. I guess I owe you a meal or something.
Yeah.
And in my mind, that was like where I definitely said, okay, she's a tsundere.
Yeah. And okay, so after they have their little meal together, they find out, oh, someone got murdered.
But
Yay!
they get murdered in the most dramatic way possible, hanging from a window with like a sword impaled through his chest, like while being hung from a noose.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's like,
And then
he
everyone's
dies,
like, go save him.
And like, of course, he dies, and everyone's like, well, how is this possible? Player killing isn't allowed in
towns.
In towns.
No.
Unless
they're challenged to a duel.
Duel.
Da 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 da. Okay, look, I'm done. I'm done.
But if they're either challenged to a duel, which they don't see like a winner icon anywhere nearby, so it's like he obviously wasn't. And like they don't think because of the fact that he was with this girl beforehand, who was like walking with him beforehand, like just like a minute earlier, they don't think he was sleep P killed, which is like where they'll challenge someone will challenge a character who's asleep to a duel, and then they'll use their own hand to like accept it, and then they'll just hack away at the sleeping body until they die.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was their first theory, and then they met up with this one chick. Her name was Yorko. Yorko. As the character name, in-game name said, it's like egg yolk and O. Yolko.
Which is weird. I think they fixed that when I saw it on Toonami. I think they might have.
We're watching from Crunchyroll. So
again,
that doesn't make a difference. But then
it's been a couple weeks since I saw it there. But I think they fixed it. But I'm not sure. Anyway,
so just buy the Aniplex DVDs, which are completely overpriced. Like $80 for the first part of Sword Art Online, total of 4 parts. So you'd end up spending $320. But I'll save that for another time.
Yeah, we'll save complaints about that for another time. Because with me, it's for an entirely different series that they own, Monica Magica, aka one of the best series I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, so like they meet Yoriko, and she's like, I knew this guy, and like I think like it's there we get the whole backstory. We get the backstory to what had happened beforehand. They used to be in a guild together called the Golden Apple Guild.
Oh.
And there there had been a murder within that guild beforehand. Their leader, Griselda.
Griselda, yeah.
Yeah, she was killed while on her way to deliver, to sell a rare item that the party had found.
Mm-hmm.
And so like obviously they figure, and the party had been split as to it, like who had like what they should do with the item. Should they keep it? Should they sell it? And in the end they voted on it, and the majority decided to sell it. But the ones who said don't sell it, like he was one of the ones who didn't who voted don't sell it, and and Yoriko was another one, and they have another guy who is up fighting at the front in one of the front groups.
It was Kind Close, and then another K character. They love using the letter K in the beginning of names, but whatever.
Oh my god, they do.
Kayaba?
But like anyway, they find the sellout by talking to Yoriko, and because of the fact that the weapon, and they suspect it was one of the people it was one of the guild members, and of course like the weapon that was used to impale the guy that they found hanging, what they find out because they scan it was made by.
It was appraised by Agil, who is a trader, you know, he's just one of the specialists that you'll find in any MMO where you have blacksmiths, armor makers and whatever, jewel refiners. But yeah, he appraised the item, and they find out that it's been created by one of the guild members. His name was Grimrock.
Or I know the English dub did this. They called him Grimlock in the English dub, which makes much more sense.
Yeah.
If you ask me,
Grimrock, Shamrock, I don't know.
All I think of when I hear Grimlock is the Transformer, the Dinobot.
Yeah.
Tangent.
Okay.
But anyway, like they're thinking Grimlock, because he was married to Griselda, is like out for revenge.
Well, they didn't know that he was married yet until later on. But okay, so they decide to.
Nah, they were married in game. Remember?
No, they didn't know yet until.
No, they knew they were married in the guild.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yoriko explained it to them.
Okay, that makes more sense then.
So anyway, I
thought they were trying to play a Deus Ex Machina in the 6th episode. So it's probably because I missed it, because I was probably downstairs doing something. I don't know.
Whatever. Like, point is, they get Yoriko, they decide to get the other guy from the guild who voted against selling the rare item, who is one of the frontliners for the Holy Dragon Alliance. You know. One of the two top guilds who stole two of the coolest names available, and it's there it's there I think we get that the two were Griselda and Grimlock were married, I think. But anyway, it's from there that Yoriko basically gets out. It's there that Yoriko exposits the whole backstory about how she thinks that someone's out to kill them, or as she puts it. There's Griselda's ghost is out for revenge against the people who might have killed her.
No.
And then as she's saying this, poof, knife in the back. Oh yeah, something we should mention that we wanted to mention. It seems like the deadliest attacks in this game are the tiniest scratches.
Yes, all the way from the first episode when that guy he just dies because he gets a slash on his shoulder. He's like, screw this, I'm dead.
As opposed to full-length body slashes, which do nothing.
Yeah. I don't know, Sword Art Online, they just don't do massive, like, kind of like brutal cutting unless you're attacking a person like Kirito who just keeps on auto regenerating like crazy, like you saw in episode 3, 4, no, no,
4
4
the Silica
with
episode.
Silica, where they were just chopping him up as much as possible. But whatever.
Anyway, like she dies and whatnot, and the Holy Dragon Alliance guy whose name I forget, he is now convinced that the ghost of Griselda is actually out to get them. So he goes to visit her grave, and we leave him for a little while, and then we get back to the Kirito and Asuna relationship, where, as you put it,
Sandwich-kun!
at this point in time, Kirito falls in love with a sandwich.
Yes, true love.
He falls in love with the sandwich that Asuna made him.
So therefore, eventually you'll find out that he'll just fall in love with... Not really fall in love with Asuna. It's more like... It's almost like a political relationship or a mercenary relationship. Oh, I'll fall in love with you as long as you keep on giving me these sandwiches. Because it's the sandwiches I love, not you. Fuck you. You're just another pretty face.
And that gets into the eventual sexism of the series. But that's a monster we'll tackle later. That's a monster that gets more and more apparent later. I'll tackle that monster later. Well, I especially, because I don't know if you noticed it, but I noticed it like as the series went on.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Anyway, as he's eating the sandwich and like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever eaten in my life, he drops it. No, my sandwich.
And then Asuna's like, fuck you, I'm not gonna make you another one, okay? And then Kirito's like, shh, fuck you. I think I have a revelation.
I have done it. I have figured it out, because according to this episode, I am now a detective.
Yeah!
He figures out that an effect of an item's durability draining looks a lot like someone getting killed, and so he's thinking,
No, that's a teleport.
it looks like someone getting killed.
Oh, and then the teleport thing just like makes the flare and everything.
Like the flare, the disintegration of the items being destroyed looks a lot like someone dying, and like he figures that's what happened. Like the guy who was hanging from the roof, it was his armor disintegrating that looked like him dying, and he just teleported away at the exact same second. And same with Yoriko, she did the exact same thing with the knife in her back, which she must have had in there all the time, except she was sitting down, and how did she get up and go back to the window without them ever seeing her back? I don't know.
Don't worry about that. That's just a small detail that's not even worth considering like a plot hole.
Whatever. We'll hit problems with the plot later on.
Yeah. So fast forward to Kirito trying to save the 3 of those guild members.
Because, as it turns out, he figures it out because, again, he's a detective. When Asuna mentions that, getting married in this game has more meaning to it than getting married in real life because you know all about each other's items.
Because you share the same storage. Like you do in real life, kind of, where you share the same amount of money, and then if you get divorced, you have to split the money and stuff. Or if one person dies, they take on all the fortune and stuff. But whatever.
Does this technically make Grimlock a reverse gold digger?
Yeah, pretty much. Wait, but then we'll explain Grimlock his situation later. Yeah. You know. He wasn't necessarily a gold digger per se.
Nah, he just becomes a reverse gold digger with the murder thing.
Yeah.
Well.
No! Oh my gosh. Okay. So what happens is
anyway, to give away the mystery, as it turns out, it was Grimlock who ordered Griselda's murder while she was off going to sell the ring because he would get the rare item instead.
Yes, and this murder guild called Laughing Coffin laughing coffin, I don't know. You can't really see it, but then
And the lighting for that is not too good.
it's a hand, like with the laughing coffin like emblem on his hand.
Lighting's not too good for that one.
Yeah.
So, sorry. But anyway, Laughing Coffin is a murder guild, and its name does actually sound like what a real murder guild would sound like.
Yep.
But anyway,
fitting.
they are there to attack Yoroko and the two other guys whose names I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Because Grimlock wants to tie up all the loose ends.
Yep.
And anyway, Kirito, who figured it out because he's a detective this episode, comes to the rescue. And so Laughing Coffin leaves, and then Asuna, who followed him, says, "Aha, I have found Grimlock. He was standing 5 feet away from the murders about to take place, even though it might have been safer to stay a long ways away." But whatever. We need to wrap up the plot in this one. We need to wrap up this side story in this episode, so...
Yeah, so essentially, everyone goes home happy because they found out, like, what's really gone down. Grimlock's kind of a bitch,
and he killed her so he would get the rare item.
Yeah.
And also because the fact that it's like, my wife, she was also my wife in real life. And in real life, she was the perfect wife. Obedient, submissive, always made me nice food. But then in this game world, she developed independent thought.
No, we don't like independent thought. Okay, then I'll just take everything.
So of course, so I did the only logical conclusion and killed her. Logical. And then Asuna says, "No, you didn't love her. You only wanted to possess her." And then, without even resisting, literally, after he hears that, he does like a complete 180 and breaks down.
Oh, no, he didn't even deny it. He did not deny the fact that he was basically doing this evil thing. He's just like accepted right there from Asuna, of all things, Asuna. So
he just accepts it and it's like, my God, she was right.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the episode ends with
Griselda's
now Asuna and Kirito have like this whole thing like, what do you think about marriage? Hint hint. They get together eventually.
Yeah, this is what she's really thinking about when it comes to marriage. You know? Hold on. I probably have a better card for that.
You have a more fan servicey card, don't you?
Yes, I do. This is what she's looking forward to. Yes.
So they
and then if you ever do get far enough, this kind of play. And okay, yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this.
That's enough, internet.
Yeah. So Griselda's spirit, they see it and they're like, oh, that's awesome. And then the episode ends. How do I feel about this episode?
Well, let me speak first, because again, I'm the guy who likes murder mysteries.
Go for it.
like I said, I like murder mysteries. This one is okay, I guess. Like nothing particular special about it. I did admit I did sort of like the idea behind like the player killing thing in the city. I thought that was actually a kind of cool idea. But like I kind of liked it like as an amusing diversion, but unfortunately that's my main problem with it again is it's a diversion.
Yeah.
I mentioned the time skip thing like at the beginning, and I think I should point out that was another one of the things I wanted to just sort of speak about in general as a problem with this series, the time skips. Because it feels like in the end I'm missing the plot. Like the side stories and the time skips together make it feel like I'm missing the plot as it's going by. I'm only capturing like glimpses of stuff that is not in the main story.
Yeah, you know, I think this is a really weird strategy for A1 Pictures, because you'd think that they would try to establish the first 6 episodes to make sure they have the audiences keep coming back, you know, because the audience is here expecting that they would put out the plot as soon as possible, you know, like
That's-
continuously.
That's
right?
generally what most series do. Like, granted, I'm not saying like I need it to be plot all the time, but it's like by this point in time, we've diverged from the plot since the second episode.
Yeah, but I feel like A1 Pictures has the right reason to, because if they don't go over these short stories, you won't know the details about the game, and because look, we go over player killings, monster familiars, and how they utilize different techniques. I mean, they go through all like the terminology in video games and the things that make Sword Art Online special. Like the actual game, the MMO, right? So, I think they were trying to focus more on the world rather than just the people. You know, although they are kind of doing that, they're no, that's what they are doing. They are setting up the characters along with the setting in the first 6 episodes, while disregarding the plot. So everything but the plot.
But of course, I see what you mean there. But like, I sort of wish it had been more incorporated into the plot itself. Like, I wish they could have like incorporated it more into like the main plot.
I think we all wish that, but then the thing is,
I see what you mean.
Well, with these short stories, you can't really mix it all the way into the plot. You can only have a little taste of the plot.
But like, again, like I said, that comes back to I felt like I was missing the plot like as a lot of it was happening. Like, I felt like I was seeing most of it go by without me being able to do anything about it, or me being able to like experience it. Because the series does eventually get back to the main plot, but it takes its sweet time doing so.
A lot of sweet time, our sweet time. But I'm satisfied with this episode overall. It's a mystery episode. Kirito tries to become something that he's not really.
Kirito is whatever the plot demands of him.
Yep. That's the moral of Sword Art Online! Surrogate characters!
Mm-hmm.
Like we explained earlier. I'm pretty much done. Are we done with this review?
We're done.
Yeah!
Nothing else to say.
Okay! So, until next time, we're finished with all the short stories for now. Actually, no, we're not!
Not yet.
We still have one more character. Where is she? Where is she? Let's check my card binder. You know, if I ever do a vlog, if you guys want to see my binder filled with Weisschwarz cards, I'll gladly show it to you. So, our next episode will feature this girl, Lisbeth.
Hooray.
She has pink hair. Anyway.
And that is all.
That is all. That's what makes her special. Add that to the harem list. She has pink hair.
Yeah, in a harem, half of them have weird hair, anyway.
Okay, we're done. Bye-bye.
Yes.